Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Ticket. This is a very special stand-up showcase featuring the students from LaTice's Stand-Up 201 course, brought to you by Off Mic Comedy School. We'll talk a little bit more about Off Mic Comedy School and what we do a little bit later. But this is us. We are all virtual comedy classes for adult and youth. We'll talk a little bit more in the chat and at the end of the show about what we do and what we offer in case you or someone you know would like to develop their own comedy skills. But that is not what we are here to do right at this moment. At this moment, I am here as the founder of the school to welcome our latest class of graduating students from LaTice's Stand-Up 201. LaTice is the instructor. We'll also be hosting tonight. You'll get to hear some of her stand up and jokes as well, which is always a treat. And then we have some special performances from the students, Tanya, Owen, Laura, Gianna, Kilo, who you're all here to see, I'm sure. And then we also have a special guest set from Alan, who is helping out to co-produce tonight. We do a lot of Zoom shows. We've had a bunch of class graduation shows for our winter semester this week. It's a lot of work to manage a Zoom show, so I always have a co-producer on hand with me so we can make sure it's the best experience possible for everyone. So without further ado, I want to give a few housekeeping notes just to make sure you get the best experience, since this is a Zoom virtual show. A phone is fine if you don't have access to a laptop or tablet, but the show will be best viewed on a laptop, so you get that real nice gallery view and you can see the whole audience at once. We got a pretty good crowd here tonight, so the gallery view will be fantastic. We do encourage you to be on video. We'd love to see your happy, smiling, laughing faces. We'd also love to hear your laughs, but if you have a dog that gets agitated when someone brings a delivery, or if you're chatting it up with your partner in the background, please do mute just to avoid interruption. We have that chat. It looks like there's already quite a bit of dialogue going there, so we can keep that going as a substitute for talking and laughing out loud. Also, this is not an option for everyone, depending on the version of Zoom you have, but there is an option called turn on or enable original sound. This is actually really great because it helps avoid those little lags and interruptions that you can get on a Zoom comedy show. If you do have this option available, you will see it on the upper left, turn on original sound, enable original sound, or you can go to your audio settings. If you don't, no worries. But when you hear something that's funny, do try to pause just for just a second so that we make sure we're not cutting off the comics during their routine. So those are the housekeeping notes. If you have any questions about the tech, pop it into the chat or send me a direct message. It's Christine Olivas. But I don't want to take too much time with how to enjoy this because I want to get to the enjoyment. So last but not least, I want to introduce our fabulous, amazing Stand-Up 201 instructor, LaTice. She's done tons of stuff. She's been on The View, toured with Comedy Stars of Tomorrow, and she's also just a really warm and engaging instructor who knows how to bring out the best in her students and sort of get them to the next level with stand-up. So you'll get to see her in just a second. So please unmute, turn on the video, and let's give a very warm welcome to LaTice, who'll be taking it from here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Hi, thanks for joining us. I want to say this class has been amazing. They worked really hard the last 6 weeks. So you're going to get to see what they've been working on. They built 5 more minutes into their set. So super, super excited for everybody to enjoy the show. Thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate it. We all need comedy. We need to laugh, right? Yes? Let's keep that energy up. And we're going to have a great show. So I am definitely ready to host this show. Love hosting shows, actually. I love doing stand-up. And I definitely want to get y'all ready to laugh before the class portion of the show starts. So yeah, so let's just dive right into it. So obviously everybody knows we're in the middle of pandemic, and when the pandemic hit, I had to go get a job, y'all. Like I'm out there. I'm working at Amazon right now. It's very interesting. Like, and I'm not afraid. Look, I know hard work. Been working since I was 15, and then I found stand up, almost 12 years ago now. But yeah, Amazon is interesting. I have to hand it. You got to give it to Jeff Bezos. Bezos is a genius. He is a genius. He's a billionaire for a reason, and that main reason is he's figured out how to take a perfectly good box and put it in another perfectly good box and send it to your asses. Y'all keep buying this shit, yo. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Stop buying everything. I mean, you can find anything on Amazon, and it's scary. You ever put something in that search bar thinking like, nah, they couldn't possibly have this? Guess what? They have it. I didn't know that I needed a rice cooker, but I got one. Okay. And y'all gonna eat this rice, all 20 pounds of this shit. It's a huge rice cooker, yo. I like, you can get anything on Amazon. It's really scary, but I love my job. I love doing what I do. When I first started there, I was working as one of the packers. So the packers on the pack line, we get the products out of the cage that y'all order and put them in the boxes and send them down the conveyor belt. And very, very, very boring job. Okay, it's very just same shit. And I was like, all right, I'm bored. So I found another job. So now I am what they call one of the picks. I pick. And so what I do is I go get the products off these shelves that y'all order, and then I take them to the pack line, and then they get the packet. But the fun part about my job as a picker, I get to drive one of these huge like these pit machines. And so I'm driving all night because the place is huge. Y'all know, like, these fulfillment centers are like, imagine 100 football fields long. That's how big this place is, with products from the ceiling all the way to the rafters, right? So these machines go up to get all this stuff that y'all keep ordering. I wish y'all would stop. And and I put them inside the cages, right? And I figured out what I do is actually, it's like a big scavenger hunt. That's how I make it fun. You got to make your job fun. And I also figured out the main goal. I know this is what I'm doing. Every night I'm doing the Lord's work. Okay? This is how I get through my job. I'm doing God's work right now with y'all, because y'all keep ordering bed sheets. Y'all ordering Hamilton Beach juicers. Y'all ordering all the rice cookers up. Y'all ordering those weighted blankets. Let me tell y'all, those weighted blankets, I know a lot of y'all need those weighted blankets. And it shows. Because we lonely out here in the pandemic. I know. It's getting lonely. People haven't seen people in a while, and y'all need those weighted blankets. I know. I have 3 items in my cart right now, and one of them is a weighted blanket. It's for real. But I love working at Amazon. It's like a whole other world. Also, I'm in the middle of a divorce. Yay! And I feel liberated, y'all. I'm like, this is the best feeling ever. Aside from the 2 times I can count that I had an orgasm with this man. The divorce is the best. It is the best feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle of a divorce. I am, and I have 3 kids. Any parents out there clapping up? Mom, dad? Yeah. So anybody else ready to get rid of these virtual classes for these schools?
Damn right.
I'm gonna need my kindergartner to go to school like for 7 days a week, because I'm tired. Okay. No, actually, it's pretty decent. He has like a half day, and he goes 4 days on, and he's virtual 1 day, so it's not that bad. But outside of that, this is the monster of the family. My 6-year-old, he's up on eBay right now, as a matter of fact. Anybody want a 6-year-old? Because I'm trying to get rid of him. He is the bad seed, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I describe Antonio as a cross between Chucky from Child's Play, y'all remember him, and a gremlin.
Gremlin.
This is why we don't feed him past midnight. He hasn't had a bath in 6 months. He's bad, y'all. But you know what the trick is, right? Guys say you can't kill the cute. He's so cute. They make him so cute, so you can't kill him. You know that, right? Don't kill the cute baby. And he looks at me with these big brown eyes, right? He's like, "Oh, mommy, I love you." I was like, "Oh, you're so lucky, you cute. Go sit over there with your father. I don't like him either." it's a mess, yo. He's just bad. I don't know where he came from, but I'm like, are you sure they didn't switch you at birth? Because I don't think you could have come out of me for some reason. I don't know how he got here, because I was that person. Y'all ever hear when somebody says their factory was closed? I was that person. Moms, y'all know what I'm talking about. My factory was closed. It was shut down. There was rust on the machinery. Right? There were cobwebs in the corner. Yeah. There was a steel gate window over that, right? There was a combination lock that I didn't remember the combination to, right? Trump built the wall around my uterus.
Oh.
Get under that wall, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I don't know how he got here. Because I remember how the first two got here. I have 3 altogether. Now, my oldest is 29. Yeah. And the middle is a freshman in high school. He's 14. And like I said, the baby is 6. Yeah, I know. I know. Black don't crack. I know. But everybody always asks, like, why such the big space between all your kids? Like, because the first 2 are 15 years apart. Then the last, then the middle and the baby about 8.5, 9 years apart. And I'm honest about it. That's how long it took for my uterus to repair itself every time. What happens? Childbirth is no joke. But I do. I love being a mom. And I'll tell you why. When you're a parent, it teaches you unconditional love, right? You would die for your children, right? You do anything for your kids. Now, aside from dying for your children, I'm going to give you one of the best examples of unconditional love. Unconditional love is when you will suck the snot out of your infant's nose so it can breathe. I'm not saying I ever did that shit. I'm just saying that's an example of unconditional love. But parenthood is interesting. I'll tell you this though, I even though I am going through a divorce, I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. I believe in love, and I do feel like you could be happy in a marriage or relationship, but that happily married is an oxymoron. Would y'all? Some of y'all agree with that? Right. Now everybody doesn't have to. It's fine, right? You don't agree. It could be for one of 2 reasons. Either you're very happy in your marriage or relationship, congratulations, and fuck you. or you're not quite sure what an oxymoron is. What I'm going with. All right, so y'all warm up? Y'all ready? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to hold it because I'm super excited. Like, everybody is amazing, and I am so happy that they took this journey and they are ready to do their thing. So I'm not going to hold them up anymore. So we're going to get this show. We're going to keep it rolling. And the next comedian coming to the stage really needs no introduction. So start clapping it up. I don't know, put the LOLs in the comments, clap it up, show your claps, and give it up for Tanya. Woo!
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm gonna be honest, I can't see y'all faces because I'm nervous. So, what's up? I figured I would go ahead and let y'all know a little bit about me, starting with my childhood, because it was strange. My mother growing up was a conspiracy theorist. She believes in QAnon, 5G, and the Bible. It was a big part of my childhood. The lights would get cut off, no food in the house, we getting evicted. My mom would be there with her Bible. Woo, child, Satan is working overtime. I'm like, no, Mom, it's because you're not working at all. People want their money. And she would have a ritual too, like to keep the devil from getting us, that involves burning Morton table salt on aluminum foil. That's a tough word for most people, okay? Aluminum foil. Anyway, she'd be walking around the house, burning it. Satan, I repel you. Get out of my house. Burning it, fanning it, getting in the corners because that's where evil spirits live. I don't know. Here I am, 10 years old, thinking like, what if Satan actually did show up? He comes full on goat horn, buff ass torso, horse leg, basically a centaur without the horse butt. He knocks. He has manners, of course. 'Tis I, Satan, sounding like a smooth ass Billy D. Williams. The evil one, ruler of demons, here to claim your soul. Oh no! That Morton's table salt burning on a boat-shaped piece of aluminum foil? Oh, you thwarted me this time, Loretta, but I'll be back.
Loretta.
She's standing over there all smug, like, blowing smoke. That's what I thought. It's honestly, it's really kind of funny too, because even though she's really religious, she's also kind of superstitious too. I always thought those two things kind of canceled each other out. Like, you can't be like, God got me. He supplies all of my needs. But just in case, I'm going to keep this rabbit's foot on my keychain in my bag. Just in case. And going to school, that was so hard. I had to wear one of those evil eye necklaces for protection from evil thoughts. That the necklace is basically like the adult version of I'm rubber and you're glue. My mom would be like, hey, baby, this eyeball will block evil people from sending you evil thoughts your way. Mama, what people? I'm 6 in kindergarten at a Christian day school. Honestly, if there are adults in the world that don't want a 6-year-old to learn the days of the week, we have bigger problems as a society. Evil eye jewelry ain't fixing that. She really had me going to school thinking that sweet old Miss Mabel was sending me evil thoughts during circle time. As if Miss Mabel was over there like, good morning, children. Gather round. Now we're going to learn the days of the week. Ready? Monday is fun day. Tuesday is you day. Wednesday is... The kids keep singing, you know, they know the song. Meanwhile, Miss Mabel is whispering under her breath. Oh, is she mocking me with that Wednesday crap? She thinks she cute with them pigtails and baby hair. I hope she get hit by a bus on the way home from school today. Who would do that, Mama? Who? Seriously, it's a wonder that I made it out. Almost. I mean, I'm grown. I have my own family, husband, kids, and my mother still lives with me now. I didn't get enough anxiety in my life as a child. So, and she hates that I'm not raising my kids with religion, but she tries to scare me into it. You know what I mean? With like that fire and brimstone kind of talk. Like, she's weeping. Okay, do you hear me? Weeping, holding the Bible like a shield. Children need Jesus, Tanya. Oh, they must accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, or their souls will be damned to burn in eternal hell. Oh. No, I'm good. Listen, it's not like I want my children's souls to burn in eternal hell. I am not a psychopath. I'm just kind of a lazy parent. Yeah, I know. Look, I got 3 boys and a girl, ages 20 down to 9, and raising kids is work. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. And I'm pretty sure that my main job is to keep these kids alive. So I don't have time to teach them about how Moses carried on a whole ass conversation with a burning bush. Honestly, that would just lead to a whole nother conversation about why doing drugs alone in the desert is bad. I mean, come on now. Come on, y'all. You know Moses was high on that frankincense and myrrh. Come on. He done forgot he set that bush on fire. It's cold in the desert. I ain't mad. He like smoking it up. Next thing you know, the bush was like, Moses, you know what you should do today? Huh? Tell them Egyptians to let your people go. Right. But Bush, I have no army. Look it. I got you. And here's a stick that turns into a snake. He like, oh, word? Bet. And he does it by himself. Come on now. Those are unnecessary conversations. I don't have that kind of time. My kids are out here plotting on each other. I have to remain diligent at all times. Now, I'm not saying that they're trying to murder each other, but sometimes it's pretty suspect. First of all, every single game that they come up with has the potential to result in someone's death. One super fun game my daughter came up with, she calls the Human Burrito. She's 9. She's so cute. She got natural hair and these little puffs. It's so cute. The game is not cute. And now, if you don't know what a human burrito is, it's when one kid, the smallest, lays down on like a super thick comforter and gets rolled up like a burrito. Like they do it at Chipotle. You know, they roll it up, they tuck in the edges and roll it up real tight. So none of the good stuff falls out, right? Then the other kid, usually the biggest, puts their full body weight on the head of the human burrito until it stops moving. That is not a game, kids. That's a tactic the US could have used on terrorists at Guantanamo Bay. I'm not joking. The CIA could have used a bunch of kids to find out anything from anybody. Just have little Johnny lead one of the terrorists into the room. There's a fort made of blankets. The terrorists think he's about to get in a good nap. Next thing you know, he gets jumped by 6 or 7 9-year-olds. They start rolling him up. He's squirming. They done tucked in the edges. He can't get out now. The big kid, that big kid who missed the kindergarten cutoff and turns 10 before everybody else in the 3rd grade. He got a full-on mustache, beard, and a deep voice. He's sitting on the terrorist's head waiting further instructions. The CIA agent is on the other side of a 2-way glass, radioing, talking about, Billy, can you hear me? Ask him where the WMDs are. Billy's like, the Welch's fruit snacks, where are they? No, Billy, the WMDs. Another kid rolls up, taps on the blanket. You got games on your phone? The agent on the other side getting frustrated. God damn it, Billy, get your people under control. All the kids are screaming for snacks and iPads. I want my mommy and food. They're all crying. Snot is everywhere. You know what? They can't breathe anymore. It's way past nap time. At this point, the terrorist will do anything. Billy snaps the comforter open like he's about to make the bed. The terrorist throws him his cell phone. He gave up his whole crew. Hussein, the nukes, WMDs, told him his cousin who keeps jumping bail is in the basement at his mom's house. Stuff they wasn't even asking about. Seriously though, raising kids is no joke. And honestly, one of the toughest parts that I find is how to discipline. As a parent, you can't be too firm because then you'll screw them up real bad. But if you're too lax, then they'll screw you up real bad, right? So my husband, Tim, and I, we were kind of tough on the boys, but the boys were a little easy. They ain't real sensitive like him. They crack easy. I said, who left the toilet seat up? Both of them, Bryson and Brandon, blubbering. It wasn't me, I swear to God, it wasn't you, it was daddy, it was daddy. I'm like, all right, damn, I was just asking the question. You good, calm down. But with Monet, she gets away with everything. Maybe because she's the baby, but honestly, I think it's because she's slick. She used that mind game, you know what I mean? Tim and I confronted her about that blanket murder game. Mo, why did you try to smother your brother in the blanket like that? He lost consciousness. She squared up. It wasn't me. Tim looked at me. I looked at Tim, trying to telepathically figure out what our next move is. All we can come up with is, but Monet, we saw you. She said, it wasn't me. Girl, we caught you red-handed. It wasn't me. It's like we're living with Shaggy. The next thing I know, Tim is over here dirty whining. Singing verses talking about how you grant your woman access to your villa. I trust Casa and a witness why you cling to your pillar. I'm going to butterfly like, yeah, better watch your back. Or she turned into a villa. It done turned into a dance-hall showdown at this point. Monet already took her cheeses and snuck out the room. Them over here like, yes, get it. I'm like, yes, so yeah, that's basically how we discipline our daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. Give it up for Tanya.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Tanya.
Yes. Wow. All right, keep the show We're going to keep it rolling. Next comedian coming to the stage. Needs no introduction. Give it up for Owen.
Everybody,
Owen.
it's virtual Owen.
Oh, yeah.
You can tell just by looking at me that from birth I've never fit in anywhere. Like I did not fit in the womb. When my parents, like my nurse handed me to them when I was born. They looked at me and they said, "Damn, we got some work to do here." I'll give them credit. They stepped up. Like my mom volunteered to be the den mother in my Cub Scout den when I was growing up. So we had the meetings at our house in our basement, which is where I started my career as a basement dweller. We had like 8 to 10 of my school acquaintances, not friends, come over to the house every week for a scout meeting. And we gather in the basement while my mom was upstairs making snacks. And I remember little Davy Wilds coming up to me one time and he says, "Owen, I was having trouble with my merit badge and I was talking to your mom last night on the phone and did she mention me at all? I was kind of wondering if maybe she'd want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, eat some pizza, maybe play some skee ball. You can come too, I guess." Yeah, so I'd go upstairs to help my mom with the snacks. She's got like a whole tray of Oreo cookies sitting out there. She grabs them and she's like, "Grab the other tray, would you?" So I was the kid in my own house that brought the veggie tray to the meeting every time. So I was just that popular. So yeah, did not fit in there very well. When I went to junior high, my parents thought, it would be a good idea for me to socialize with the other kids a little bit. Maybe see them outside of school and maybe join a school sport. That would be good for me. So if you grew up where I did in the suburbs and you were popular, you played baseball. Baseball was where all the cool kids played. So I was obviously a wrestler. And the ironic thing about wrestling is it's not a team sport, unless you count those 90 intimate seconds during which you're kind of hugging this other dude from a school you'll never see again. Yeah, another weird thing about wrestling is like if you're in an upper weight class and you're good at it, you can make a name for yourself. You can have a rep. It's like athletic. If you're me in junior high, you're 75 pounds soaking wet and you suck. So people start to wonder about your motivation for spending your nights and weekends rolling around on the floor with another dude in front of a gym full of people wearing nothing but a sweaty spandex onesie in the blue and white colors of the Fighting Downingtown Lancers. For me, the motivation was definitely school spirit. But yeah, my mom nonetheless came to all of my meets. She's sitting in the stands in the bleachers, and I'd get out there to start wrestling. I'm in my wrestling stance, and the referee blows the whistle. My mom's like, "Go Little Bear," and I'm like, "Little Bear? Okay, that's not the greatest nickname, but at least I can have a stupid nickname to go along with all my losses." But no, my mom did not stick with the one nickname. She used a different nickname every match. So I'm down there on the mat, flailing around on my back, losing. The referee's counting 1, 2. My mom's in the bleachers. Get up, little bird. And that's not a nickname. And then the referee's like, "Pinned," and he's raising the other guy's arm in victory. My mom's like, "You'll get him next time, Big O." And I'm like, "Big O? Why couldn't she have picked that one? That's good." Yeah, so it was like that for a few weeks. After a little while, though, like one of my teammates kind of leaned over to me and he says to me, "Man, Owen, your mom is a freak. Is she coming to the party after the meet? She brings the Oreos." So yeah. Junior high didn't fit in. High school was a little bit better. I got my driver's license, which is good. And I somehow managed to get a girlfriend in spite of all that wrestling garbage. And on the weekends, I'd go to her house and pick her up, and then we'd swing by our friend Rob's house, and we'd head out to the shore. We had like the whole umbrellas and blankets and whatnot, and Rob would give me a little cash to go fill up the car and get some snacks. And it didn't take too much therapy to realize that my girlfriend was dating this other dude, and I was basically just their private Uber driver. Yeah, I probably should have caught on earlier because they always rode in the back. Yeah, yeah, didn't fit in high school. College, I thought college would be better, right? Like I can remake myself. No one there will know me. I can start fresh. And so I thought, well, I can pledge a fraternity, right? Fraternity would be good. I can meet some guys and fit in there. So I found Kappa Delta Rho. They were, seemed like decent guys, and they were having this mixer on the weekend where you get to know the brothers and whatnot. So I go to this thing, and they have music there, and I'm in the main hall, and I'm doing my thing, and this is basically it. So you know how that went. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how bad you dance. You can work up a thirst, right? So I go into the kitchen to get a drink, and I hear this, "Hey, little bear!" And my mom's in there filling up 5 shot glasses, and I'm like, "Mom, this is not why I told you about this party." And we have this whole argument after. It's pretty bad. The KDR brothers, they banned me from any future event, primarily because I banned my mom from campus as a result of that. So she had to resort to like shipping me care packages like a normal college parent, with like school supplies and snacks and whatnot. But my mom would get weirdly creative, and she'd take the Post-it notes out of the pack, for example, and on every 10th page, she would write "safe sex." And my roommate thought this was hilarious, but it didn't really work out that well for like my study partners. It was odd. This one time I went down to the student union to pick up a package. My mom had made me a batch of cookies, and I was standing next to somebody, and I'm like, "Hey, you want a cookie?" My mom made me some cookies. And she took it, and she, looks at the cookie, and she says, "Thanks, Magnum." And I'm like, "Magnum? What's that?" And I look at this cookie, and sure enough, it's square, and it's got this little raised circular section in the middle, and it's got Magnum written across it in icing. And I'm like, "My mom made me condom cookies. What's that?" So, I mean, the good part, they were cream filled, so that's good. And there's something really insidious about a parent that like is kind of encouraging you to have sex in college, but then makes it impossible for you to get any. I didn't end up pledging the frat, obviously. I did join Radio House, which is kind of like, where your AV club nerds graduate high school into this house where they play music nobody's ever heard of over AM closed circuit radio. Which, yeah, and it's like, do you really fit in when you're fitting in with people who don't fit in? But I did meet my wife there, Roberta, and we had our 2 beautiful children, Abby and Riley, who I don't fit in with either. Yeah, these kids, man, like when they were little, it was totally cool. Like they look up to me like, "Oh, it's my dad," and that's good. But like when they became teens, I have to like read Urban Dictionary like as a periodical in order to keep up with them sometimes. We were sitting at an intersection one time, and they're sitting in the back like I'm the Uber driver again, and I look across the way, and there's this nice car sitting over there. I'm like, "Hey kids, I'm that guy over there, he's pushing a fat whip." And Abby, like, just flat tells me, "Father, you shouldn't body shame people. That's bullying." And that's another thing. These kids, at some point in their, like, preteen years, they decided they were going to cold stop calling me dad anymore. And from then on, it's been father for everything. So now, like, if we go out to family dinner at a restaurant, the rest of the restaurant needs to hear them calling me father. And it's kind of like, "Father, can I have a piece of cake with dinner this evening? You know how I like it." "Oh, yes, Father, yes, please, please, Father, yes." And I'm like, "Shut up, kids, and just order the freaking cake, okay?" The waitress is standing there trying to understand what the heck this interaction is. And I just wonder, like, should I play along with all of this and be like, "Oh, yes, children, please do order a slice of cake, but just one, because you know how sugar keeps you up at night." Really, I just want to order my lasagna and get out of there without anyone thinking that we're the Von Trapp family. You know what I'm saying? Man, there is one place in this whole pandemic-riddled universe that I do fit in. And I hate to be the I hate to be the suburban white dad here, but that one place is the living room recliner chair. My butt fits right in, and I like to sit there. I like to spend my weekend evenings or afternoons listening to the drone of the suburban fleet of riding mowers, and maybe the crack of the bat over AM sports radio. That would be nice. And so I'm sitting there one day, trying to get my dad on, and I hear this noise coming up out of the basement. It's like a ruckus, this huge, noisy, loud video game, TV, music blaring, people screaming. And I'm like, what is all this? And I get up, and Berta's got a big old tray of Oreos, and she's like, hey, your mom came over to visit with the kids. Can you grab the veggie tray? That's my time. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hey.
Give it up
Big
for Owen.
Big O.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so funny. Big O. I'm never gonna forget that. That's really All right, y'all ready to keep this rolling?
Woo!
All right, keep that
All right.
energy up. Got more show, got more show. Next comedian coming to the screen. Needs no introduction. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm saying needs no introduction for all the comedians coming to the So start clapping up now. Start clapping up now. Give it up for Laura.
Thank you very much. Full transparency, I am sitting down. Thank you, Zoom audience. Thank you, LaTice. Thank you, Zoom audience. I really appreciate y'all staying home tonight. Thank you. I have a very strange relationship history. I even once dated a lil person. That's right, L-I-L, lil person. It was the 90s. He wore obsession for men. Wasn't a long relationship. It was a short relationship. Not a big deal. Just a lot of little things. Tiny issues. But I was really, really into him. He was bald. Hot! So bald. So hot. I like the bald man. I do. He did not like being bald. So what he had, because it was the 90s, was a hair system for men. Do you know what that is? It's a weave, basically. You know, you weave the toupee into your existing hairline. And what happens? Eventually, your hairline grows a little bit, and then you get edges. His hairline was a little bit down here. So he didn't really get edges. He kind of got spaces, like a little air pocket. So what he would do is he'd cover the top of his head with this clear adhesive glue, wig glue, and then he would just push it down really hard. But also, ladies, hold on to this. He was an athlete. Okay? A cyclist. I don't know how he got on the bike. Never watched. He was fast. I mean, he was fast at a lot of things. Maybe it was a little ladder or a mounting block or a carrier pigeon. I don't know. But here's the deal. You know, cyclists, they wear those outfits, right? Tight pants, not a lot left to the imagination. He was so cute. He looked like a little lawn jockey. I did find out, though, this is kind of sad. Some men do put things inside of their pants to augment things. I was a little bit disappointed when I found out he was packing a marble.
Oh.
It was a good relationship, though. There were many trade-offs, many benefits for both of us. He was a white guy, so gigantic status. He dated me, a trophy Amazon of 5'3". Are you laughing? That was my Xena. I'm scary. I know I'm scary. He did me a lot of favors, though. I had to buy a car at that time. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I've gone to a car dealership as a woman, well, I mean, that's the only way I've gone to a car dealership. I was a woman, and I would go in there, and one of three things would happen. Either everybody would totally ignore me, or some really helpful person would come up and immediately ask me if they wanted me to run my credit report. So sweet. Never worked out. Or I'd get kicked out for dancing with the vending machine because everybody ignored me. This time was different, though. Let me tell you, when we went in there, everybody saw us. There was popcorn, there were balloon animals, piggyback rides, and I got a sweet deal. They gave me half off. I know. But eventually I did have to succumb to gravity. There was a lot of pressure. I broke up with him. He was pretty low after that. I mean, he could have fought for the relationship, but he chose to stand down. I can't really blame him. But there's a good ending to this story. The next woman he dated was 6'3", gorgeous shoulders, and he got married to her. So I was really just happy that he came out on top. I hope. You know what? I feel really bad doing this. It's not nice to make fun of people's bodies, right? Owen taught us that. I feel kind of bad. One day he might see this and he might feel really bad. Asking him to forgive me would be a very tall order. But maybe this is a growth experience. You're welcome, sir. Anyway, I continue yet and still to keep dating, even though we all know what's going to happen. Even in these times of COVID, I started trying to date. I should say that I'm a germaphobe, so we were very, very careful. We wore our masks at all times, and he lived in LA, and I live on the East Coast, so proper social distancing, almost far enough. It was great, but there was texting, and I really don't like texting, and I'll tell you why later. But the texting didn't last very long because then I started to receive pictures all day long, like at work, when I wasn't at work, pictures of a penis. Many, many pictures, same penis, different settings. Penis in the morning, dick in the afternoon, cock at supper time. Penis making breakfast, dick at the grocery store, cock playing triangle for 80s soft rock supergroup REO Speedwagon. So intriguing. I learned so much about it. And then eventually, I don't know how you like films. I like films. I got a series of short films. When I watch movies, I have to get ready. So I take a nice hot bath. I slather myself with the shea butter. I make a huge ass batch of brownies and I sit down and I watch a movie. He sent me a lot of movies. They weren't mysteries because I guess after the first one, I kind of knew what was going to happen. But there were many movies, and I watched them all. After some time, I kind of felt bad. I mean, this is a really generous guy. So nice sending me all those movies. I feel like I should maybe reciprocate. So I sent him a photo of my shoulder. That was it. I don't like texting. I don't like it, and I'll tell you why. I can't see very well. That's one problem. The other is that I don't like the touch screen. My keyboards change. I don't know why this happens, but it goes from English to Spanish to French, and then the letters go all over the place, and I just don't have any patience to do this. It's always wrong. So I utilize the voice to text function, which is problematic, yet I still use it. A couple weeks ago, a friend of mine who happens to be gay was going to meet up with me, and she texted me, "I'll meet you at 7." And I said, "Okie dokie." I know, corny. I said it though, but the text said, "Okay, dyke." So that one kind of worked out. Another time, a friend of mine, she was posting pictures on Facebook of her beautiful, beautiful little tiny infant child. I wanted to comment. I voiced it. She is a love bug. What came out on the comment was, she is a lesbo. So apparently my voice to text is trying to teach me something. Apparently I have an accent. Yet the worst one was like a couple days ago. was texting with somebody. I said, I have it. But instead, the text said, I love you. Then I was like, oops. And it said poops. So I started texting madly. I was like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Not that you're not a nice person. I'm sure that I would say that to you if I knew you a little bit longer. Needless to say, I guess I'm dating DoorDash. Which is okay, actually, because I'm really used to waiting a long time for somebody who needs a GPS to find my spot and never get it right. So then I go and I whip up a little something for myself, maybe some brownies, and then I sit down and I watch the movie and I go to bed. Thank you.
Woo! Give it up for Laura.
Woo!
Come on, make some noise. Yes. All right. So we're in for a special treat. Our next comedian is actually also the co-producer, and I've known him actually probably about 10 years in this comedy game. Super excited to see him. I haven't seen him do comedy in a while, so start clapping right now. Give it up for your co-host, Alan Pickett.
Woo!
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So I'll start with a few fun facts about me. I am a native New Jerseyan. I am, yeah, all right. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm straight edge. I'm Jewish. So basically, if you want to talk shit about me, you have options, is what I'm saying. I am from New Jersey. Where are my Jersey people at? Now you can, yeah.
Woo, woo.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm really surprised that many of you admitted that. Like, seriously, I can't. I have the best reputation. I don't know if you know this. What can I say? Like, what can I say to shit on New Jersey that everyone in the country hasn't already said, including people from New Jersey, about New Jersey? Like, we know. And shitting on New Jersey is like trying to shit in a toilet that's already completely full of shit. What more? Not to draw a personal comparison. Thank you. Not to draw a personal comparison, but New Jersey jokes are like the Trump jokes of state jokes. Like, what's left? People joke about how they charge you to leave New Jersey. I think it's fucked up that they do. Like, yeah, that'll be $5. Bro, I was just in New Jersey. Charging you to get out of New Jersey is like if you had to go to a Nickelback concert and pay for your ticket on the way out. Like, dude, that'll be $5. No, bitch, that'll be $5, right? New Jersey. I am looking forward to when things are getting more back to normal in the world so I can start using my old material again. Because any comedian will tell you it's gotten a lot harder to use a lot of our material in these times. You know, I can't come out and say, yeah, so I went to a bar the other day. Bars are closed. And then I went to a party. No one's having parties. And then I had sex with this woman. Who would want to fuck him? Like, seriously, I'd buy it, mister. Oh. Thank you. Sometimes women want to fuck me. I don't know why. I wouldn't fuck me. I don't know. Y'all laugh. I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't know. I mean, would any of you fuck yourselves?
Yes.
Well, because if you would, please go do so. Narcissistic mashugana. What the hell's wrong with you? It's so weird. You've seen Silence of the Lambs? You know. That scene, I'd fuck me so hard. That's you? Oh man, I hope not. I hope if that is any of you, I am glad this show is virtual. I'll tell you that. Oh my God, I would not want to be in the same building. If I were in the same building with anybody like that, I'd be like, fuck the police. But somebody call them immediately. There's a maniac at large. It has been hard trying to get out and meet women, so I've actually been using dating apps ever since they were invented. I don't, no shame in my game, people. No shame, all right? I don't care. I need all the help I can get. I use Tinder, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish. I recently signed up for Black People Meet. I'm obviously not black, but I'm willing to convert, so it's okay. It don't crack. Why not? I'd like to not crack. I list on my profile that I'm a comedian on Tinder. So inevitably, every time I go on a date, the woman always says to me at some point, "Oh, you're not going to put me in your comedy act, are you?" And I got to always reassure them, no, you're not that interesting. That's okay. Not nice. In fact, a lot of people tell me I need Jesus. But they're wrong, because I ain't need no man. And honestly, when it comes to religion, I believe that God is love, because they're both not real. So that's what I think. I mentioned I'm Jewish. I am proud to be Jewish, but do me a favor, stop asking me if I am. Rude. You don't know me? Don't ask. Just don't ask. It's not cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be Jewish, but if you think about it, asking someone if they're Jewish is a lot like asking a woman if she's pregnant. Because there's nothing wrong with being Jewish or with being pregnant, but there's also no flattering reason for someone to think you're either one. In fact, I think it's kind of worse to ask someone if they're Jewish than to ask a woman if she's pregnant. Because at least when you ask a woman if she's pregnant, it's always in a really friendly tone. You know, it's like, "Oh, are you pregnant?" Oh. Whereas with Jews, it's like an accusation. "Are you Jewish?" Like, they're trying to solve a murder. "Where were you on the 5th night of Hanukkah?" I don't know. The reason for that is Jews have no positive stereotypes. They're pretty much all negative, right? Like even the most flattering stereotype anybody could come up with about Jewish people is always followed by an insult, right? You know, it's like, yeah, you know, those Jews, they all have a lot of money, and they're always so stingy with it. And it's not fair. You're never gonna hear, yeah, you know, every black guy has a huge penis, and they all use them to control the media. Like you're never gonna hear that. Guys, I'm Alan Piggy. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Give it up for Alan. Yeah. That was awesome.
Thanks.
All right. Y'all ready to keep this rolling?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. 2 more awesome comedians left in the class. And we are going to get it rocking. Again, start clapping. This comedian coming to the screen needs no introduction. Give it up for Gianna.
Woo, Gianna.
Woo.
Yes.
Woo!
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I just want to start off by saying I've never really had a whole lot of social skills. Like one time somebody coughed and I said, "You're welcome." That's pretty much my baseline. So, you know, I was excited when quarantine started because I was like, you know what? After this, everybody's going to be as socially awkward as me. But you all betrayed me. Because what really happened is everybody else pretty much stayed the same and I only further regressed. So now when I'm talking to somebody, not only am I trying to remind myself to like make eye contact and smile, I'm trying to remember that I can't just fart. More than one occasion, I've taught myself with my entire hand down the back of my pants, fishing out a wedgie in public with witnesses. So my name is pronounced Gianna. It's not super common, and I'm also a non-confrontational person. So I have spent most of my childhood just letting people pronounce my name however they're going to pronounce it, whether it's Gina, Gianna, Joanna. That is until my college professor called me Gina. Yes, and it took me a full 3 weeks to build up the confidence to be like, hey, that's not my name. That's a part of the female anatomy. So now I try to be a little bit more proactive when I'm correcting people on my name. And I've been met with some resistance, which is strange. Like one time I introduced myself and this person goes, oh, how do you spell that? So I spell it, Gianna. And they go, oh, you mean Gianna? No. I just fucking said, and what did you think was going to come out of this conversation? Did you think I was going to be like, oh my God, you're so right. I've been pronouncing my name wrong for the past 26 years. Now we must celebrate this day as the Epiphany, and I'll name my firstborn after you, and we'll erect a statue of your likeness in the town square. But speaking of Ginas, I recently had my annual gynecologist. And yeah, she asked me if I was sexually active as she checked out my otherwise unused IUD. And I laughed hysterically for the next 6 minutes. Because I don't know, maybe you figure this out with context clues, but I am single. And I use a lot of dating apps, and I really hate them for so many reasons. And one of them being they will kind of reveal how basic you are. Like the time I was asked out by a doctor and said yes immediately without any further conversation. I was so excited about this date, okay? I remember my friends before were like, what's his name? I was like, he's a doctor. He's a doctor. How tall is he? He's a doctor. Unfortunately, the date did not live up to expectations. It was really boring because, well, he's a doctor. So at 2100 hours, my dream of marrying a doctor began to flatline, and this guy did nothing to save it. I mean, it could have been revived with a defibrillator and 20 cc's of stimulating conversation, but he just watched to die. So now I'm suing him for malpractice. But you know what? It's okay. I'm kind of glad that it didn't work out because he kind of seemed like the type of guy that doesn't reciprocate oral sex, and I need better bedside manner than that. Not everybody I've met on dating apps has been nice. On Bumble recently, a guy called me fugly. And it's important to note that this did not hurt my feelings. I was kind of just mad. I was like, fugly, that's so lame. Like, fugly is the boogeyman of insults. I stopped being afraid of that shit in middle school. And I'm really not playing games here. If you're going to insult me, you better say something that's going to send me back to therapy. Because when you're trying to be mean to me, you have to realize that you're competing with all the voices inside of my head, and we know what we look like, okay? Just one example is I can grow a mustache that would make any middle school boy jealous. Not to mention, you can get so much more creative with your insults that are beyond the scope of just physical appearance. Like, I remember one time somebody came up to me and they just assumed I knew everything about the Kardashians. And that is so much more hurtful than anything you can say about my appearance. But dating apps will also alter your perspective on reality after a while. So at one point I was out and I saw this guy approaching me from across the bar. We locked eyes and I held up my finger and he left. And the craziest part about that is you understood because you just went like, And I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. If everybody understands what swipes mean, I'm just going to use this all the time. And sometimes it works. When you're trying to figure out what you were having for dinner, you're like, salmon, swipe left. Ooh, chicken nugget, swipe right. But then my mom tried to ask me to take out the garbage and I swiped left and she was like, the fuck is this? So apparently it's not universal. Yeah. But I do deal with a lot of insecurities when it comes to dating because, I grew up in a really small 1 square mile town and everybody knew everybody's shit. And there was this one kid, his name is Tommy. Tommy was hard to miss because he would very often be wearing a samurai suit that he made out of cardboard and duct tape. Trust me, I am not creative enough to make this up. He is a very real person. Tommy would also flirt with every single girl in school, except for me. Now, you need to realize that I'm always one minor inconvenience away from a mental breakdown. So this situation was not handled well by me. So I started to do research on Tommy's interests. Do you realize how psycho that is? I was doing research so I could essentially join the Me Too of Tommy. So Tommy would just be like slashing his cardboard katana through the hallway like he's waiting for an enemy on the other side. And I would just be standing there spewing random buzzwords like, I should really live my life by the Bushido code. I got nothing from him. I got rejected by a guy who duct taped a Sean Magay. That's the samurai ponytail. You'll remember that I know what that is because I did my research. A Sean Magay onto the back of his bicycle helmet. And I still couldn't get him to look at me. And I was like, seppuku. But in retrospect, the person that I'm most jealous of is Tommy. I mean, he had just had this boundless confidence and he would bounce from rejection to rejection. I'm still too insecure to wear a crop top in the same week that I've eaten spaghetti. Some time ago, I did run into Tommy. He has now grown his own Sean Magay for character development. He's added some flags to the back of his bicycle, and something was different this time. He came up to me, he was like, slash, slash, slash. You have caught my attention. Would you like to accompany me on a date? My steed gestured to his bike. And then I was like, oh, you know what? 10 years has led to this. So I said, the student has become the master. But I had to go on this date, right? So I hopped onto the handlebars of his bike and we went to 7-Eleven, super casual, Immediately I started to regret it because, he got some chicken nuggets, which is fine. And then he pulled out his own chopsticks that he had brought with him. And I was just like, swipe left, swipe left, swipe left. He didn't get it. It went right over the Sean Magay. It only gets worse because a fly started to buzz around and he just took his chopsticks. And then I just thought to myself, this is it. This is what's going to send me back to therapy. That's it for me. Thank you.
Good job.
Yes.
So funny.
Give it up
Yeah.
for Gianna. Make sure I pronounce that correctly.
Yes. You didn't, but I
love
forgive
it.
you.
It's Jonna.
Y'all ready for our last and final comedian of the night?
Woo!
Need to hear you. Need to hear you.
Woo!
Are you ready? All right.
Yeah.
This next comedian needs no introduction. Start clapping up now. Give it up for Kilo.
Woo! Go Kilo.
Yes, y'all. I'm so happy. Y'all give it up for LaTice and all the other comics. Yes. Yo, y'all did that. Y'all did that. Congratulations. I'm so happy, y'all. I am not ready to leave quarantine though. I don't miss getting profiled. You feel me? Hell no. I'm not trying to go into this new year. See, because you all know, y'all see me. I'm black. I'm black. I'm from the suburbs. Okay? And it's not bad being from the suburbs, but being black from the suburbs is paradoxical. Because you say things like paradoxical. You know, and I was getting profiled all in different types. Even during the protests, I was getting profiled, okay? The moment I stepped up to the march, people looked at me for the cadences and the beats. I'm tired. Y'all gonna have to find your own rhythm to no justice, no peace, okay? So clapping on the 1 and 3 after all the times you had to practice. I'm out. I know y'all looking at me like, oh, what are you talking about? You getting profiled. You look like you were in a High School Musical 6. Oh no, Keisha, I really want to be in your play, but I got tennis. But if I do the same thing without speaking, I look like a character, you know, making a deal in Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, see, I'm the type of nigga that can't say nigga when I'm with my niggas, but if I was in a room full of niggas and I didn't know them niggas and they usually look like niggas that would say nigga, I refrain from saying nigga. Usually somebody in the room, they go, nigga. And that's the type of nigga I am. Yeah, I don't want to go outside, and I live in a great place. I live in LA. You can see from the glow on my skin. Okay. I live in Echo Park. If you don't know Echo Park, it's the Beverly Hills of Skid Row. You can get a free Peloton bike class, but it might be in a tent with some rats, okay? Capitalism is a flip out here. I get approached by all types of people out here, okay? It's Crips, cops, crackheads, Christians, all trying to convert me the kilo, okay? I live right by the Dodger Stadium. You know, it's dope. It's so cool. But, you know, getting on these LA buses, it's like being a shortstop on the Dodgers, y'all. I got to come to the corner. I sit in a like deep squat like this. I'm holding signs, you know. I'm even speaking Spanish, you know what I mean? I'm like, 4, 7, como que, vamos. People think I got these, you know, Dominican ass from playing baseball or some CrossFit. No, I'm just trying to catch a bus, okay? So, you know, I got to learn how to protect myself in public, if anything was made clear from last year. So I had to change the way I walked. Because even if I walk like this, I'm getting profiled. You know what I mean? People always trying to say something. So I learned that if I want to walk like this, I got to hold some tea with me. You know? If I'm in a really dicey situation, I could take that walk and I start walking like an old Asian man. Just leaning like this. I've learned some techniques, y'all, to keep me surviving. I'm gonna share some with y'all. I got a big idea for 2021. We can learn how to deal with the people that we hate. It's the MAGAs, you know what I mean? I just got one thing that went wrong, and the word was great. They shouldn't have tried to make America great. They should have tried to make America again. Cut out the great. Let's just make America again. That way we can stop referring to them as MAGA and start referring to them as Ma. You know? Pull out your Ma. Stop saying racist stuff at the table, Ma. Ma. Just because I didn't get my check doesn't mean you can go rush the building yet, Ma. So that'll help dampen the divisiveness within our country. I do have some other suggestions, obviously, things that are not as radical or dicey. You know, Black stories are important. It's an important time to share those. So clap it up for that. Yes. So what I want to do is my pitch is revamp Soul Train and make it Soul Boat. Think about it. We can use the boats from all the cruise ships that we are never going to take again, okay? And it will demystify the notion that Black people can't swim. And we damn near are on the water. You know what I mean? Swagging and surfing. Revolutionary, y'all. And I even pitched it to Cat Williams would host it. Y'all know Cat Williams? Williams hosting. Hey, baby, hey. Oh, baby, this is Cat Williams. I got my girl JoJo Butter and coconut oil next to me, y'all. Go on, make it clap and slide down the pole, baby. Let's go. You know what I mean? Even have Lizzo hosting as a DJ. Lizzo's like, wooka, 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 what's up? This is your girl Lizzo. You positive and you awesome. Get on the boat, baby. Now I got to go to sleep. Get my big booty rest. You know, I'm picking it around here, y'all, but you got to keep it on the hush hush because Nick Cannon is trying to steal my idea again, you know? I'll be like, yeah. And the great thing about living out here in LA is that you get to meet celebrities. You see them all the time. But you meet them at the weirdest moments, okay? The weirdest moments. I was working at a tea shop and LaKeith Stanfield comes in and he drops his hat. And this is what happened. Ken, I dropped my hat and I don't want to pick it up because when it came off my head, I realized that my head was much freer. So, Ken, do you want my hat? And the way you're looking at me now, Ken, is the same way I looked at LaKeith. Okay, it was crazy. And then Angela Bassett came in, and don't you ever get Angela Bassett's order wrong, okay? She was like, excuse me, I need to see your manager. I specifically requested an extra shot of protein in my drink. You don't want to see me angry. You don't want to see Angela angry. It was absolutely absurd. I'm out here trying to get in the industry, and all I end up doing is getting in the streets. Cycle is systemic, y'all. And self-care, I've learned, is key. Make us some claps for self-care. Because my anxiety starts showing up for me like Billy Porter, okay? And he would just be leaning back and say like this. I wake up. Honey, what you doing getting up? You better turn off these lights. Got things to do today. You know, but I fight that off. I've started taking dance classes on Instagram, okay, with Debbie Allen. Y'all know Debbie Allen's dance classes. Debbie Allen comes on, she goes, hey baby, hey, you know who this is, baby. Hey baby, this is Debbie Allen. How y'all doing today? Hey, Dan. Dan, how you doing with your hair? I see you, Daniel. Yes. Are you working out, Dan? You can answer Debbie Allen, Dan. Don't be afraid now. Yes, baby. That's what I'm talking about. You need to follow my Instagram. Here, I'm going to get you my tag. Hold on. Oh, Felicia Rashad is calling me, y'all. Felicia. Hold on. Felicia comes on. Felicia's like, Angela. Angela, I told you now. Don't listen, Debbie. I need you to not have me on this live, Debbie. You got me all twisted. I'm going off. Woo. Yeah, that was great. I loved my self-care. I started smoking a lot more weed. Okay. Yes. This is for my stoners. Have y'all ever gotten so high that you ate your munchies before you got high? Have you ever gotten so high that you ate your food before you got high? Think about it. Yeah, man, I found out I had a transformer effect. The moment I touched the blunt, my fingers were like, this is Optimus Prime, and you're gonna roll a blunt. And I started, instead of hiking to get outside, separate myself, I started a new trend called Karen watching. So instead of go on the hikes and I catch some Karens, and every, week I can start hearing the tones. I hear a, I'm like, that's a fresh Karen. On the weekends, they hover in packs and stuff. It's so nice to see. Break from reality. Yes, but self-love, most important. My body is a temple. Not quite. You know what I mean? For me, a temple is a little outdated. No one goes there. They're kind of scary. My body's more like an Airbnb deal. You know what I mean? It's a good deal, but there's a lot of cleaning fees, y'all. Not cleaning fees, baby. And don't make me your super host, okay? Yeah, if you're ever here in LA or whatever, my name is Kilo. It's so fun to be here, and thank you for this. Thank you.
Kilo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Did I tell y'all or did I tell y'all? Amazing. Give it up for everyone you saw tonight. Great job, everybody. And I'm so proud of everybody, for real. It's so awesome to see their journey from week 1 to now. And you guys are amazing. You did a great job. And I know Christine put some info in the chat. Make sure y'all follow us off Mic Comedy School. Follow us on all social media. I have a 201 coming up. Please come take a class. There's scholarships available. Hit me up. We can have some fun. I'm going to turn it back over. I think Christine is still here. I'm sorry, I'm not on view.
I'm still here.
Yeah, there she is. All right. Give it back over to Christine. Yay!
Give it up. Let's real quick before I do my final announcements, give it up for LaTice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo. Well, this is amazing. Obviously, LaTice is a great instructor. All of our instructors are amazing. You can see if you go to our social media. I'm not going to plug the classes again. My one ask, please follow us on Instagram. That's it. You'll see all the information about our classes, information about the students. Tanya was recently a featured student on our Instagram. We have information about all the other class shows that are coming up. So yeah, Off Mic Comedy School on Instagram. And yeah, we look forward to keeping in touch and hopefully see some of you at a future show. Thank you so much. Have a great night.